talking about radian measure and terminal angles. This goes a little bit into the trig part of what you need to know for Algebra 2. Not going to go into full detail because just the timing of everything, we're basically skimming. Okay, so then that way you can have an understanding, a little bit of understanding of part of the trigonometry, and then, you know, when you go to your next course, you'll get more of an in-depth thing. Okay, so let's start off with talking about terminal angles first. Terminal means situated at or forming the end of something. Okay, so basically you have these angles that are within a coordinate plane. Okay, you have one side that's called your initial side. This is the side that does not move. Okay, and it's always located on the x-axis. Okay, your terminal side is the side that is moved to form your angle. Okay, so like in this picture, this would be your terminal side, and over here, the purple line that's highlighted, that will be your terminal side. Okay, so your initial side is fixed on the positive x-axis, and then the other part of your angle is what moves. Okay, now an angle in standard position is formed by rotating a ray from the x-axis about its endpoint. The final position of the ray is the terminal side of the angle. Now, two angles in standard position are coterminal angles if they have the same terminal side. Okay? So when you rotate that terminal side, and you always rotate it, if you're rotating it counterclockwise, it's going in the positive direction. Okay? So if it's going counterclockwise, it's going in the positive direction. And if you have two angles that are considered coterminal angles, they have the same terminal side. So if I rotate this way, let's just say, how many degrees would you think that is? Using a little bit of logic here, if I rotated it up to the positive y-axis, how far have I rotated it? 90 degrees. To this, it would be what? And so this would be somewhere in between 180 and, what's this measure? 90, this would be 180 and 270. Okay, so somewhere between 180 and 270, maybe 225, about halfway. Okay, a coterminal angle would be if I were to continue to rotate this terminal side, say like an additional 360 degrees. Okay, so say I started here, and if your x-axis, I rotated it and kept turning it, but I still ended up at this same position. Does everybody see that? So like here, I take it, rotate it again. Everyone following me? Okay? What would be that angle? It wouldn't be 225 because I've gone a full rotation. How many degrees is a full rotation? Geometry throwback. 360. And then I went another 225 degrees. So what is that? What's that total? Okay, so 225 and 585 are what you would consider coterminal angles, okay? Now, going in the counterclockwise direction is positive. So that means going in the clockwise direction would be what? Negative. So if I went this way, my angle would be negative what? Okay, because this is, so again, 225 if I went counterclockwise, but I'm going clockwise. So it would be negative 135. Okay? Questions? Any questions about what terminal angles are? Remember, terminal is the side that moves to form the angle. If I move in the counterclockwise direction, it's positive. Clockwise direction is negative.
Will it always show a line saying which way it's going?
Yes, it will always show this curved part right here, so that way you'll know it's going to either be positive or negative. Okay? And do be aware that if it does like additional curves or circles, rotations, that means we've increased, 360 degrees plus whatever measure that is. Okay? So, what is the sketch of an 85-degree angle in standard position? Well, here's your x and y. You always need your initial side, which is located where? On your x-axis, which at positive x-axis. that vertex is always at the origin, and then 85 degrees is that in my first, second, third, or fourth quadrant. First, and let's just review our quadrants. Which one's this? And is my second to the left or is my second down bottom? To the left. Very good. Okay. I forgot that. So 85 degrees is located in my first quadrant. Now, is it located closer to my x-axis or closer to my y-axis? Closer to y, because it's 90 degrees right here, so 85 will be very close to 95. And then on top of that, I need to make sure I include my rotation curve to let me know I'm going in the positive direction, 85 degrees, and not negative. Okay? What if I ask you to sketch 150 degrees? Where is that located? 150 degrees for quadrant. Second quadrant. Okay, because you know that this right here is 180 degrees. And so 150, I still have my initial side on the x-axis. My terminal side is located in the second quadrant. Closer to the
Excuse me, teachers, at this time, would you please?
Not too close, but it's closer to that negative x-axis, so it should be located somewhere here. And then, of course, put in that curve to let me know that we're going in the positive direction, 150 degrees. Last one, what is negative 30? Negative 30 degrees.
You go clockwise
I go clockwise from
Negative 30 or 150?
negative 30.
You go clockwise from your standard position.
Not standard position, but
Initial side.
initial side. And it'll be in the fourth quadrant, negative 30 degrees. Okay? Now, one concept that goes along with these different types of angles is the whole idea of the unit circle. Now, because of our time, we're not going to be able to dive deep into the unit circle, but your next course, if you guys are continuing that honors path, will be pre-calculus. Seniors, I don't know which one to go to, but everybody else, and hopefully if you continue on that honors path, you'll end up going into pre-calculus, and so you will get more of what the unit circle is, but here's your first exposure of it. The unit circle is a circle that is fixed inside of a coordinate plane and has a radius of 1. Okay? So as you see here, from the center to a point on the circle, that is 1 unit. More specifically, in a coordinate plane, this point is 1, 0. Think about it. The radius is 1 unit long. I'm on the x-axis. My y value is 0. My x value is 1. What would this point be?
0,
0, 1. Because I'm on my y-axis and I went up 1 unit. What would this point be?
1.
Negative 1, 0, because I'm on the negative x-axis. And this point would be what? 0, negative 1. Now, suppose an angle in standard position has a measure of, this is not a circle with a line through it, it's called theta. It's a way you can represent an angle measure. Okay, the Greek letter theta. The cosine of theta is the x-coordinate of the point at which the terminal side of the angle intersects the unit circle. So in other words, the x value is the cosine of that angle. Okay? The x value is the cosine of that angle. The sine of theta is the y coordinate. Okay? So if you were to type these into your calculator, cosine of negative 90 degrees will give you the x coordinate of that angle. Where is negative 90 degrees? Where is that? It's on the y-axis, positive or negative? Negative. So it's right here. Negative 90 degrees is right here. And if I'm asking for the cosine of negative 90 degrees, I'm looking for the, which value? The x. What's the x value of that point? And there's a cosine of negative 90. You could confirm this in your calculator by typing cosine negative 90. Make sure you're in degree mode, not radian. And you'll see that you'll get the same value. The exact same value. Let's keep going. 360 degrees. This is positive. Where is 360 degrees located? Well, I can't hear you over there. Where is it?
Initial side.
It's the initial side. So it was here, and then I went a full rotation. That's 360 degrees. So yes. What is the cosine of 360? 1. Okay? You just type cosine, and then 360, and you get 1. Okay? 540. 540. Where's 540 located? It's located right here. Oh, negative 1, 0. So I've gone a full rotation, haven't I? Which is 360 degrees, so then I have to go an additional 180. So right here, that is 540 degrees. What is the cosine of that value? Negative 1. The sine is the y value. What's the sine, or what's the y value of negative 90? Negative 1. What's the sine of 360? 0 is the y value of this point. And then what's the sine of 540? 0. This is your most basic introduction to the unit circle. There are more degrees within your unit circle, like within the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant, okay? Depending on what our time's looking like, maybe I'll get the opportunity to go deeper into it, but this is just your introduction. So are there any questions on coterminal angles, coterminal angles, or sine and cosine of these expressions? Let's do one more. Let's do one more, or two more. I want you to tell me the cosine of 720 degrees without using your calculator. And then I want you to tell me the sine of negative 270 degrees. Okay? Give you a minute to figure those two out. What is your cosine of 270? What'd you get? 1. Very good. It should have been 1, because where is 270 located? 720. Where's 720 located? It's at the initial side. How many times did I go around? So there's 360, 270. Yes. So, 720. I know what I mean. So it's the x value, right? What about the sine of negative 270? Which one is it? It's positive 1, because which way am I going? Clockwise, and I'm going to the positive y-axis. So yes, I'm looking for which value, the x or the y? The y. Questions?